We are live. Welcome to episode 51 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by our producer, Mass Music Radio. I'm here today, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce,
Wowie.
Snipsky,
Yes, sir.
and myself, Andrew Coco Curry. How we doing today, boys?
I'm doing good. I mean, the past week has been pretty good. Just working and all that. But this past Sunday, the Masshold veterans, Rucks the Pucks, took home a W against the British Royal Navy in Somerville. Won 10-9. Absolute tilt.
Wow. Shootout.
I mean, those guys know how to play, man. So we had some beers with them after the game in the parking lot. And I guess they have training camp and shit like that. Like they get like allotted money from their government to put together a team and actually like travel and like do their thing and like play in like these series. Like I think we're like the fifth game they played in Massachusetts. I think they were undefeated, and then we had them in their first L. So those Brits know how to play for sure.
All those dudes are like from Great Britain.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
They're chirping us. Couldn't even understand one word they were saying.
Like tea and crumpets, buddy.
Yeah, Boston Tea Party 2.0.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I guess they beat Coast Guard in OT the night before, so we might have caught them with some heavy legs. But
yeah, the culture doesn't always carry over. You know what I mean? Like we're Americans with the Canadians. They're over there, Britain, trying to play hockey. Hey, all props to them, but it's just how we do over here, you know.
Yeah, it was so we were down 3-0 to start early, and I mean we had some beers in the parking lot. Definitely probably didn't help. No one was really playing defensive game, and then we kind of like settled in like probably like late first, early second, and then we kind of just started buzzing. And I think we were down 6-3 going into the second, which is pretty bad, obviously, and then tied 6-6 going into the third, and then we took care of business. So it was a good game. It was good for a great cause. We got a jersey out of it. We swapped jerseys and all
That's
that
sick.
stuff. It was honestly like a great event. I've never been a part of like that kind of stuff. Like it was cool because they're all good guys at the end of the day. Like that the guys on that team, the captain was a good dude and everything. So it was a great experience. I really hope we play other countries like that too.
Yeah, I mean, from what you said, it sounds like they could hold their own too. I wouldn't expect like Great Britain to even have any hockey over there at all. It's all football.
Yeah,
football.
Exactly. Yeah, like soccer and everything. But it's just like they probably had like 2 or 3 skill guys, but other than that, they just like I said, they had training camps, so they just know how to play with each other. They played like systematic hockey. Like they got us on a couple of times where like they caught us on bad changes or they just, you know what I mean, just like simple hockey plays. They just knew how to play the game, you know?
Yeah. Were you guys in a tourney or was it just exhibition game?
It was an exhibition game. So they reached out. So shout out Brendan KB. He played for Quincy College this past season. He pretty much runs the whole entire like nonprofit, like him and some other, I forget the other guy's name. Forgive me for that. But yeah, KB came out with the C on his chest. Fucking nasty. So he came out with the C on his chest, all that stuff. He actually had the best. He had the game winning assist. Nasty, no look behind the no look to Joe Early. So shout out to him. Buried that to make it 10-9. But yeah, they reached out to us like for an exhibition game out of nowhere. They're like, hey, like we see you guys are a nonprofit military team. You guys want to like just like set up a game, all that stuff. We had 2 refs and everything. Good showing too. It was at the Somerville rink.
Oh, yeah. I remember that place from back in the day, dude. 7 a.m.s in Somerville when you're like a mite and a squirt.
Yeah, dude, it was an absolute nightmare to park there, though.
Oh, yeah. There's nowhere to park over there. That and Southie were the worst.
Yeah, Southie's a sick rink, too. It's always the best rinks over there that you just can't fucking park.
You're going to have to park next to Sully's.
Yeah, literally, if you're playing in Southie, you got to go down to Sully's, dude, Castle Island, and walk like 2 miles with your hockey bag over your shoulder.
Grab a burger and a dog on the way there.
Yeah, might as well, right? But yeah, love to hear the Quincy College boys, too, still showing out for the Rucks to Pucks. That's unreal. And you guys have an upcoming tournament, too, right, in Marlboro?
Yeah, so we play in the Heroes Cup June 10th to the 12th. So looking forward to that. We got 2 teams in there right now, a D and a C division team. And Got a couple RVs. We'll sleep on that. Have a couple pops. You got 3 guaranteed games. Have a good weekend with that. Hopefully we play on Sunday, Champagne Sunday. So hopefully we get into that.
Better be bringing home some hardware.
That's the goal.
Do it for the boys. But yeah, no, that sounds like it's gonna be an unreal time. Boys just sleeping in the RV outside the Marlboro or New England Sportsplex.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be nasty.
Don't have to worry about driving home after a couple 2-tree Larrys.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like they got people like
couples.
Got people like shacked up on RVs, and then there's like obviously there's a hotel across the street, but a lot of people are staying there too. So it's like, dude, there's so many teams in that shit. It's like A division through D division, and there's probably like 12 teams each division. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, it's a good showing.
Well, we'll be pulling for a little miracle in Marlboro next weekend then.
Yeah, man. Nassau veterans. Let's go.
Let's get it done.
Rockstar Pucks, let's go.
Yeah, your guys' jerseys are nasty too, like the black, purple, and yellow.
Dude, so
you guys look like Minnesota State.
Bro, our
Mankato.
They're fucking nasty. Dude, so I showed up to the game against the Royal Navy. And we had them ordered. They've been in the works for a couple months now. And in memorial for fucking Snipsky over here, I got 91.
Let's go.
So I have 91, dude.
Stammer.
The thing came out fucking dirty. He handed me the jersey KB. And I opened up the package, dude. I was like, dude, these things are like they're mint. They're mint. So I probably should wash that thing. I was
you gotta have like more than 4 goals if you're gonna have 91.
I had 3. I think that's good enough.
No, I'm saying when it comes down to like the tournament.
No, I'll have more than 4. Trust me.
All right, word.
No. I average like a hat trick a game with that team.
Well,
so
if you don't, then there's gonna be a problem.
Right. What were the what were the Brits rocking for jerseys? Anything good?
They wore gray. They have mad jerseys, dude. So they have but their jerseys are pretty sick though because it's like their American tour. That's what it's called. So
that's kind of sick. Yeah,
it was gray with like the Britain flag on their chest, and on the shoulders it had half U.S. and half Britain flag. And there was something else to their jersey too. No, they were good jerseys, but they have like baby blue jerseys they wore, like kind of like the high slot one behind you was like something like that, and then like navy blue, like they have pretty good jerseys. I went up to them like, damn, I'm like, you guys are pretty good pretty good jerseys. I'm like whatever. I'm like, how far along do you guys plan this? He's like, oh, we just put this together in a couple weeks. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, those are nasty.
Honestly, I was expecting you to say they had a jersey with the queen's face on it, or the dead queen.
Yeah, no,
who's that, Queen Elizabeth or something?
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. No, but no, you remember the World Baseball Classic when they had the little just Great Britain and fucking it was small as shit. Imagine if they had those.
Yeah. Just shafted.
That would have been so funny.
What's the Family Guy episode where Peter plays in the NFL and gets traded to the team
silly nannies?
Yeah, the silly nannies. That would have been unreal if they were the silly nannies.
I forget what city they had, but the silly.
I think it's London or something.
Yeah, London City. Yeah, London silly nannies.
He gets traded from the Patriots.
Yeah. He gets dealt. He was wasn't he a long snapper or something?
Yeah, he was the center.
Yeah. Dude.
But Brady was getting pissed at him.
Yeah,
because he was showboating and stuff. Brady's like, no, we don't celebrate after touchdowns, and Peter's doing a full on he breaks out into song and dance.
Yeah.
And then Brady's like, what the hell? And then he's like, yeah, you're done. You've been traded to the silly nannies.
The London silly nannies.
Brady probably owns the silly nannies.
That's a fact. He put to bed the rumors of him unretiring. Those rumors he was going to come back to play for Vegas, but apparently he shut it down.
If he came back, I would have stopped watching the
enough. Enough's enough.
Well, the thing is, I hope the Raiders suck balls this year. That's where I'm going with.
Well, they might have to release Jimmy G. I guess his ankle's still bum.
Well,
it's in his contract.
Yeah, he tried to sign a waiver.
He has to pass a physical.
So what's gonna happen? Yeah, he failed the physical. That's why they're not do. That's why they didn't do a whatever, like a whole press conference about him. Is because he failed his physical, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah. Like they switch his whole contract around. Is if he's not healthy for the beginning of the year, they can void his whole contract.
Yeah, it's a mess over there.
Which is unbelievable that Josh McDaniels, like, I get it, it's football, it's like all about injury, but it's all the same. It's like, yo, Jimmy Garoppolo can still play quarterback in this league, I think. And it's like, oh, we're gonna be scumbags about this whole thing. Like, come on. Like, you didn't draft a quarterback. You didn't like sign like a quarterback that could play. You just went, well, they signed Jimmy G, but at the same time, they didn't help themselves. Like, this guy had a foot injury. You know what I mean?
You know, Jimmy G's got to cut back on the porn stars and get that ankle healthy.
Yeah, right.
He's too busy getting blowjobs, which I do not.
He's so handsome. It's like nuts.
Bro,
He's pulling out a couple hamstrings.
Bro. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, Jimmy, why is your hamstring always shot?
Yes.
So just can't stop playing pipe.
yeah. He's like, I lift too heavy. My bad.
Yeah.
Dude, he's going to Vegas where he could get like heatest blowjobs. So he could get like, come on.
He's laying pipe like he's working in the union, dude.
Yeah, right, dude.
24/7.
Dude, he already have his pension if you like working.
Yeah,
the way he's laying pipe.
Bro, he's not laying pipe like the guys that are working in the union. He's laying that fire pipe, like, you know what I mean? Like, those guys are not making money like
that
Jimmy
fire
G
pipe.
is.
I mean,
I'm sorry
dude,
to say.
he can just get by on looks alone, dude. Even if football doesn't work out for him, he could literally be like GQ model, dude. He's all set.
Right. Imagine just like being able to do that.
Jesus, that motherfucker be working for Brazzers.
What if he did?
He probably would.
Yeah, because he has so
honestly.
many connections banging porn stars that it's like, yo, dude, you can just like come in here and just fucking
Be nasty.
yeah.
Take over for Johnny Sins.
Right? Big time.
All right, we're already going off the rails here. Let's reel it back in. We got a huge episode for all you beauties out there today. We'll start with a recap of the conference finals matchups, and then we'll get into our Stanley Cup Finals preview and give you our predictions on who we think will be taking home Lord Stanley. You boys ready to roll?
Let's
go.
Let's do it. All right, we'll dive in. We'll recap the conference finals matchups, which I'm going to give you guys fair warning here. I'm probably going to be one of the biggest haters this episode. I mean, you could probably nominate me for Hater of the Year after this. I'm just still a little salty after the conference finals results. Watched both my future bets just, go down in flames. But yeah, why don't we talk about it? The conference finals, in my opinion, was probably the most disappointing round so far, just in terms of like competitiveness. I was expecting two great series, like potentially going 7, but it didn't turn out that way. We had a clean sweep, and then what was looking like another sweep, but just overall two, non-competitive series. We'll start with the Canes and Panthers, where it's the Florida Panthers, man. The Cinderella story goes on. They swept the Canes 4-0. The Canes have now lost 12 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals games, dude. It's
going back 16 years.
Yeah, they were swept by the Pens back in 2009, swept by the Bees in 2019, and then now the Panthers in 2023. I mean, it can't get much worse for the Canes when it comes to conference finals. Boys, what are your thoughts on the series?
Sergei Bobrovsky, man. I think, give or take, if the Panthers win or lose the Stanley Cup Final, he's probably going to win the Conn Smythe because of like type of playoffs he's had. His numbers are through the roof, and that's like he's like the main reason, other than Matt Tkachuk on the offensive side of the puck, that's like has the Panthers where they're at. You know what I mean? Carolina couldn't buy a goal. They literally couldn't buy a fucking goal. I know like not having Svechnikov's huge and all that stuff, but like, dude, they managed to get to the conference final without Shmeshnikov. You know what I mean? So like they had some depth scoring with Teravainen, Aho like couldn't find the back of the net. Teravainen maybe scored 1 goal in that conference final. And it was just the kind of unlikely guys that were finding the back of the net for them. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the depth scoring definitely wasn't like kind of like missing. It was just kind of just Bobrovsky was just like unbelievable, like brick wall in the net. I mean, Sam Bennett absolutely just destroying Slavin like in that game. You know what I mean? Like,
that was a statement.
Yeah, like that kind of shit, dude. Like when
that was like
Hampus
Lindholm last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude, Sam Bennett, that motherfucker is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
and like I think that like something like the physicality like that going into Vegas is definitely going to be huge. But the thing is, Vegas just has like that tenacity to them too. But we'll get into that later. But dude, Florida just their forecheck and their physicality, and then like Bobrovsky and that dude, it's hard to match. So like it's kind of hard to like kind of knock them out. They're such a tough out. Obviously, they've beaten the top teams in the East. So that's my thoughts on it. I think Bobrovsky played unbelievable, and it's just the physicality and the tenacity Paul Maurice has with this team, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I get what Bob's saying. I think the way that Panthers are playing is over their head type of thing. You know what I mean? And like they're all shocked on how they're playing, which is fine. Like it happens. I think Vegas has a better decor. Like they might not have the better goalie, but I think when it comes to in front of the net, I think Vegas has a great decor, and that they're gonna be able to push guys like Kachuk, Verhaeghe, all those other guys out of the front of the net, and I think it will be different. I think Panthers have been getting hyped up the last couple of weeks, and everybody loves them. They're the darling, but I think they're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I'll start with Rod the Bod's quote here after the series. He said in a press conference, he said, "People are gonna look back and everyone's gonna say that we got swept. That's not what happened.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I watched the game. I'm there. I'm cutting the game. We're in the game. It could have been 4 games the other way." I mean, that quote is just all time, dude, from Rod the Bod. Like, people are gonna say we got swept, but we didn't. I mean, Rod, you got swept. You guys got swept, Rod. The only thing I agree with is his last statement there. It said it could have been 4 games the other way, which it easily could have. Not to discredit the Panthers here, and this may sound crazy, but the Canes were the better team the entire series.
I agree.
They outshot them. They out time of possession them. They were just all over them every game, and were just snake bitten. And I think not having Svechnikov really came to hurt them this series. And then Bobrovsky, man, like you mentioned, Bob, he's just playing unbelievable. Like he's just, on another planet right now. Like he's playing above his game. And the Panthers just score timely goals. That's it. They just like weather the storm. And then when they get their opportunities, they capitalize. And Matt Tkachuk, as the kids would say, it is him. I mean, he's the best American-born player in the game right now. And I don't even think that's up for debate. I mean, just to rattle off what he's done this playoffs. So game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, 4 OT game-winning goal. Game 2, another OT game-winning goal. Game 3, assisted on the game-winning goal. Game 4, scored the game-winning goal again with 4 seconds left. That went and sent them to the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, that's just talk about being clutch. I mean, you can't get more clutch than that. Literally, game on your stick. You want it. You want Matt Tkachuk being that guy because he's gonna bury for you.
Yeah, man. Like, so I agree with you. Like about the whole entire the Canes did outplay them. They're just snake bit, dude. Like Bobrovsky was so fucking dialed in.
Yeah,
it was honestly nuts. Like
best goalie in the league,
dude. He was he was just showing glimpse of himself, like in 2012, like 2014, the last time he won the Vezina, and dude, it was nuts. Like there were so many times I was watching that series where Carolina would be in their zone for 5 minutes at a time, man, just ripping shots, like possession, blah, blah. I mean, sometimes they wouldn't get the greatest shots on them, sometimes they didn't really test Bobrovsky. But at the same time, when it actually came down to it, Bobrovsky was making those saves, man. And like you said, like the Panthers, like were scoring timely goals. Like Ronto, like he would make the saves that he had to, but at the same time, man, you can only make so many fucking saves, especially getting peppered, man. Like that Matt Tkachuk goal, I know it was
Freddie in that.
Yeah, I know it was Freddie in that, but like I knew it was like down a man, but come on, like like Matt Tkachuk literally fucking moonwalked in the slot and stick handled 7 times and then put it in the fucking net. It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Well, no, I understand. I get what you're saying, but I don't think their defense is as good as like a Vegas defense.
I know, I understand that. No, but the thing is, it's like I don't give a fuck how good your decor is and like whatever. Like
it matters.
It's not really
it matters.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like you should be able to defend that type of play. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like he literally had Matt Tkachuk. It wasn't really him bullying. It was just
a bully.
Like, can I just like finish what I'm gonna say? Dude, like so like like when Matt Tkachuk got that puck, he literally just backwards skated and could have had a cup of coffee. It's like, where's the defense? Where's that high guy? Because I know they're down a guy. Where's that guy that can collapse and like lift his stick? It's just it was kind of just a poor D zone coverage by the Canes. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I think this whole series is going to be really good because, like, even though people don't want Florida to be in the Stanley Cup, this matchup might be unbelievable because they are hungry. Those Florida Panthers are hungry and they're coming for it. But then you got the most complete team in the whole NHL, aka the Vegas Golden Knights. And I think the Vegas Golden Knights are gonna give this team an opening. I
think Snipsky's horny for Vegas because that's all he's talked about in this recap.
I know.
I thought we were talking Panthers Canes.
I know it, dude. I was gonna say something, but I was gonna let him go. This dude just like talking about like the finals.
Yeah, but why are we talking about the Canes? The Canes are done. They've been done for.
We're doing
weeks.
The breakdown of the recap of these finals.
All right. Yeah, no, the Canes are all right, but like they're not better than the Panthers.
I disagree with that. The Canes were the better team. They outplayed them. They probably outshot them by 50 shots that entire series. It was just Bobrovsky and Matt Tkachuk being clutch as shit. And this is where I start hating a little bit on this series. I had a bone to pick with the officiating in this series. I haven't, been too vocal about them this playoffs, but every game, dude, the Panthers were just getting away with murder. Like, I know that's the style they play. Like, I gave them their credit. I'm not discrediting them. Like, they play physical. They're relentless on the forecheck. But, like, after the whistle, dude, they're just in your face, literally punching you in the mouth, like, doing dirty-ass shit. And the refs just let it go. And then on Carolina's side, they get called for, like, a ticky-tack, like, little, like, hook or, like, a little slash. And then, the Panthers being the team they are, go on the power play and then capitalize. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little biased there since I was on the Canes, but I just thought that the refs let Florida get away with everything and were really, you had Carolina under a microscope. And there was times Rod the Bod was losing his shit out there, and he's not usually like that. He's usually pretty calm and collected, but he was pissed at the refs like multiple times.
But my thing is with the Canes, they lost Neshikov. They didn't have really anybody to answer, and you could tell that the Panthers were hungry.
I mean, the Canes were just as hungry.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so I'll be the mediator between you two. But obviously I was on the Canes, but I can see both sides of it. But, like, the refs, like, officiating's been terrible all playoff. Doesn't matter what series it is. I think, like, overall, like, this whole entire playoff, I think the refs have been pretty shitty. But yeah, for some reason, like the Panthers have gotten away with a lot of fucking egregious penalties.
Yeah, it's happened in every series too. It happened against the Bruins. Yep. It happened in Toronto when they took out Nyes. Dude, that was dirty as shit. He friggin' chokeslammed him to the ground.
Yeah, Sam Bennett's the one that did that. And then, I mean,
didn't even call a penalty.
I know, dude. Sam Bennett, like
he murdered Shea. Brady Shea too. He murdered him.
Well, the thing is, it's like, Sam Bennett isn't completely dirty. Like, he makes, like, good plays and shit. But, like, dude, at the end, like, sometimes you got to call some shit. You know what I mean? Like, Tkachuk did some fucking sketchy shit. Honestly, like, out of all, like, seriousness, I love Matt Tkachuk. I love the way he plays. I love his tenacity. Obviously, he's clutch as fuck. But like there's been times where he has some borderline like plays as long as Sam Bennett. There's a lot of guys in the Panthers that get away with some shit. Like I think Reinhardt, like he's kind of like feisty with some shit down low. But it's not just the Panthers. Like even like fucking Petrangelo, he got away with murder.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a
slash.
Dude, there's a lot of times in these series is where these refs are just kind of putting the whistles in their pocket, which I don't know. I don't understand why. I guess it's playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but, like, sometimes like if you're like intent to injure someone, you should at least get like a 2-minute minor. You know?
No, you should get a double.
Well, the thing is, I know, but what I'm saying here is that it's playoffs, dude. Obviously, shit's gonna fucking like everyone has.
You shouldn't throw the
fucking
guy out, but.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying like, all right, so for like getting away with murder is like kind of like slashing some guy pretty good.
But if
like
he does
fucking,
it again, then yeah, throw him.
Yeah, like Radko Gudas is literally a farm animal that should be put down. Dude. He should be put down like Old Yeller.
Yeah, that's
the shit he's doing is fucking insane. Dude, he was sitting on people, fucking slashing people from behind, tackling people. Oh, dude, he tackled Aho and like fucking like gave him a little like, he gave him a little broke back mountain. How are you? It's like, yo, what are we doing, dude? He didn't give it a penalty.
He didn't sit on him, but I'm pretty sure he gave him a high stick or two. You know what I mean?
Radko Gudas is a fucking rat.
Yeah, he is. And honestly, though, I'm fine with like letting the boys play. I'm fine with letting the boys play. Yeah, exactly. But then when Carolina was getting called for like, you know, a little like stick lift and they call that like a hook or like, you know, a little stick check and they're saying that's a slash. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah. Like with the stuff the Panthers were doing, I'm like, if you're not going to call anything, then don't call anything.
All right, this is what I'm going to say right now. I'm going to ask this question to you guys. Do you think the Florida Panthers are a team of destiny, or do you think Gary Bettman is like wants them in the position they're in right now?
No, I think it's destiny. I don't think Bettman has anything to do with it.
Is every time I see Gary Bettman at a hockey game, it's Florida Panthers. Which is fucking
maybe
stupid.
He lives in Florida. I don't know.
No,
because I couldn't see that because Florida's not a big market at all.
No, it's not.
Maybe they're trying to grow a coach. We never know.
Maybe he lives there. Which I'm not on the whole. Oh yeah, like he wants Florida to win. It's weird because every time. Like, I think it was like the third or fourth game, Bruins against Panthers. He was in Boston at the game. And we choked the shit out of it. Gary Bettman, stay away from the TD Bank Garden.
Yeah, we don't want Bettman anywhere near Boston. I don't think he has anything to do with these results, though, because it wouldn't have been Vegas, Florida, because I think this is I think this is the worst matchup that could have happened. Like, in my opinion, but
when you guys said, "Oh, it's rigged," I'm like, bro, if it was rigged, fucking, it wouldn't be, you know, like
it would have been a better storyline.
It would have been Boston, Vegas.
Yeah, but the thing is, dude, like trying to grow the game, right? I get like if you rig it, you want to like the most like profitable market teams in there, but at the same time, dude, like. Look, the Coyotes about to relocate, and
if anybody wants them,
no, I know that. No, just listen. Yode's about to relocate, right? And Bettman probably doesn't want that. And then the whole thing about like Florida and like Vegas, like those like fan bases are growing, especially Vegas, dude. Like I can also see like the type of like narrative that like, all right, in my opinion, I don't really think it's that. I don't think it's fixed at all. But like if in the best case scenario right now, I think having Vegas and Florida in the finals is pretty big for the sport of hockey because like, dude, like it's great to have like those type of like markets in a finals playing each other because you want to grow the game, right?
Yeah, you only.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Because like, dude, honestly, like me, like as a hockey fan, as I analyze like this whole entire playoff and all this shit, I look at it, all this stuff. I think the best case scenario is having these type of teams because, like, look at Dallas Stars when they won those two cups, dude. They actually have like a legit fucking fan base now. Like, dude, they're huge and down there. You know what I mean? So if somehow Florida wins it, like Vegas is already big as it is because it's Vegas and like whatever, like all that shit that happened, like that unfortunate stuff that happened, that shooting and all that stuff, and they made it to the Stanley Cup final and lost. like that's huge for them already. But if they win, it'll be even more astronomical what they're gonna do. And then Florida, like they've been big like for like mostly Boston Bruins fans because there's all those people that move all the way down to Florida. But I think if they win, they'll be more of an attraction of the state of Florida.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and then you have Tampa who just won 3 cups too.
Exactly.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's exactly what I'm saying, dude. I think all this stuff is like kind of leading to like more of like like in a marketing standpoint. If you think about it, that's just like kind of like a smart way to market the game.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I think South Florida is just buzzing right now, dude. You got the Panthers in the Cup Finals. You got the Heat in the NBA Finals. You got Brooksy, who just won the PGA Championship, which I gave out on the pod last week, plus 2,000. You're welcome.
Oh, are you?
But yeah, South Florida's buzzing. It's a place to be right now.
I just think that when it comes down to like the whole like Florida Panthers thing, it's a retirement home out there. And I just don't see it. I think when it comes down to like the whole Tom, like I think of it as like Tom Brady type of thing because Tom Brady still lives in Florida. And I think it's still Lightning when it comes down to it. I'm on the Vegas Golden Knights. I love Bruce Cassidy. I think he's a better coach.
We didn't see that coming.
We haven't gotten to the Western Conference breakdown yet. Jesus.
No, but like we're talking about like like the whole East Coast bias thing. I don't believe in it.
I mean, I don't see any bias on this, honestly. I just think the 2 best teams, honestly, are the ones who are in the Cup Finals. They've earned it. Snipsky wants to talk about the Knights, so let's talk about the Knights Stars series. The Knights took care of business against the Stars, 4-2, Knights in 6, and Bruce and the boys are heading to the Cup Finals. What are our thoughts on Vegas?
You want to go first, Vinny, or you think you're Vegas though?
You can go.
All right. So I had money on Dallas, right? So I like this whole entire year I knew Dallas was a team to be reckoned with. Honestly, I knew that like they had that team and they had that decor, they had Ottinger. I just knew for some reason after I put money on him that I knew Pete DeBoer can't get over the hump. That fucking bum.
Loser.
What I don't know why I'd ever put money on Pete DeBoer. But
Pete the whore.
So Vegas, man, like ever since Bruce Cassidy went to that team, I know like we said this like months and months ago, like preseason preview, even before then, when he got fired and he ended up getting hired by Vegas, we're like all three of us like, dude, like I can see Vegas in the Stanley Cup final, like make it at least Western Conference final.
Plus, we were like contemplating saying that Buffalo won that trade too.
Yeah, because they won the trade at the time because Jack Eichel wasn't himself, obviously, because he just got off that surgery or whatever, and then whatever. Like that doesn't matter now.
I mean, the team wasn't together.
Yeah, but now the team's together. Stoner came back from that injury. That decor's immaculate. I'm horny for the fucking Vegas decor. I've always loved that defensive core they have over there in Vegas. Aiden Hill is having an absolute playoff for himself. He's about to get paid.
Yeah, he
overpaid though.
So, which is good for him. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, good for him.
Obviously, offensive core, Bruce Cassidy, all this stuff. Kelly McCrimmon, I used to have beef with him, but I think after what he did,
Bob, still leave room for your, you know what I mean, your beef though. You never know.
I mean, I'm that type of guy that I'll give you props, but I can still like Don Sweeney, for example. I gave him a little bit of leeway because of what happened, but I'm still like obviously he's still a fucking clown.
Don Sweeney, you're still not out of the woods.
No, I said this shit like months ago. He was still not out of the woods. If Don Sweeney wins the Stanley Cup final, Don Sweeney should be fucking tarred and feathered. But
no, that's for another episode.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Future reference, but no, but like honestly, like that series between Vegas and Dallas, it was so lopsided, man. Like every time, like I was either like working out or playing hockey or whatever, so I didn't really get to see most of the games. But like, dude, every game it was like fucking an absolute rout. The first 3 games, Huh?
You talking about Bruins? Or what are you talking about?
The Western Conference.
Oh,
Finals.
Western Conference Finals.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, dude.
The first
No,
two
but-
games went to OT.
Yeah. No. But I'm saying
Dallas
like,
lost in OT the first two. They could have been up 2-0.
yeah, I know that, but like it was like the third and fourth game was like absolute routes. Like I mean, the third game at least, it was like wasn't it like fucking like 6-0? No, 4-0 after the
It
first
was
period.
that first game.
That was
they
game
went to
6 you're
OT.
thinking of. They got
was
routed in
back
game
for
6.
No, I thought they were up like big like in the first period after like in the third game or something. Vegas.
Game 6, Vegas went up 4-0.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like the thing is like about Vegas.
Dallas
like,
won 4 and 5.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. No, but yeah. See, that's how out of touch I kind of was with the like, because I was too busy to watch the
They
games.
didn't.
But
They didn't win shit. Dallas.
yeah, but it was just the thing is like the Stars could have like I was kind of shocked they didn't really like. I mean, they put up a fight at one point, but like the first 3 games, like it was just Vegas just showed that they were better, and then just like kind of just like entailed for the rest of the series.
Yeah, that honestly, like Dallas, like was way too soft. They were like a Bruins team going up against a team that like knew what they were trying to do. It was kind of like Panthers Bruins type of thing, and they just had no answer for a type of team like Dallas. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna correct myself. Vegas. Dallas had no idea what they had in for them during that series. Unbelievable. They did fight back. They played way better than the Canes. The Canes had no shot in that series. The way they played got swept. But Vegas absolutely manhandled.
I disagree with that too, because the first 2 games went to overtime, dude. The Stars lost 6 straight overtime games this playoffs. If they win,
whose fault is that? That's the Dallas. That's a
yeah, but you
Dallas-
can't say they got manhandled when they lose in overtime. It was as close as it could be. A bouncer too, and Dallas could have been up 2-0 and stole 2 games in Vegas. Or even if they split it, it's a whole different series.
Dallas is a good team. I am a big fan of Dallas, but I think Dallas had their hands full.
I can't say I agree with that. Dallas owned the expected goals rate in the series before Game 6. I mean, they got absolutely routed in Game 6. But
yeah, but I couldn't think
the
of,
first 2 games, Aiden Hill just outplayed Jake Ottinger.
I watched the series and I couldn't see a bounce, like a little bounce here and there where Dallas could have won.
They didn't get the bounces. That's why they didn't win.
No, but like there wasn't like,
but
Dallas should have won. You know what I mean? They got
Aiden Hill stole those games for them. Aiden Hill outplayed Jake Ottinger, and that's what it came down to. Dallas as a team was better than Vegas.
I think I love Jake Ottinger. Do not get me wrong, but he is a year maybe away. Like he's a hell of a goalie.
He had an awful playoffs. Every series, he was not himself.
I didn't think that was gonna happen. Hell of a goalie. I think he's maybe a year, maybe 2 away. He reminds me of a Jeremy Swayman type of goalie.
I think he's better than Swayman.
But that's not true, though.
You're saying Vegas manhandled Dallas in Game 3? Dallas outshot Vegas 35-16 and lost 4-0.
That just shows how good of a team.
That just shows that Jake Ottinger played like shit.
It shows how
only getting 16 shots on net does not a good case for you being a good team.
All right.
And you're letting up 34. It's Aiden Hill outplayed Jake Ottinger.
I think Ottinger still matters.
I mean, I think he's a good goalie for them to have, but he was a shell of himself this playoffs. He wasn't what we saw last year. No, and that's the main reason why Dallas lost.
Yeah, they lost because of Jake Ottinger. Fine. I have no biases against it, but I'm saying he still has a way to go. The whole team, I think, Dallas, they could have stepped up. They could have been better, too.
I thought they played well. They just dug themselves in a hole. Like I said, the first two games went to OT. If they even split, the first two
Hey, how
games,
about
then
how about
it's a whole different series. But when you go down 3-0, that's just a tough hill to
hey,
climb.
are we not gonna mention Jamie Benn dummying Mark Stone and
Yeah, and
leaving
Jamie
his
Benn
team
screwed
out?
them
Yeah,
too.
yeah. That's the thing. Like, how much of a captain are you when you're gonna lay somebody out and get suspended for 2 games, and your team plays better when you're not in the lineup? Like they're playing for you technically, parentheses, but hey, man, like you make a dumb play like that and your team wins 2 games and then you're back in the lineup and you lose. Sounds good.
And he took no he literally like the way he like responded to like to the question by the media was like,
Yeah,
oh
he
yeah,
didn't
like
even show up.
yeah, all right, relax. All right, so let me just talk. No, but like he
Yeah, he said it was like an accent. Like
yeah,
it just happened to
yeah,
land on him.
yeah, exactly. He goes, oh, it was unfortunate that I tripped and landed, and my landing spot was on Mark Stone.
Loser.
And it's like, dude, like you clearly like went down and cross checked him in the fucking neck and stuff like
On
that.
purpose.
Like the whole entire like response to him saying that, not taking any responsibility for what he did, it like doesn't show like that he should be a captain. I mean, I still like Jamie Benn. I mean,
Whack.
I still like respect Jamie Benn, I guess, in a sense, but like the whole entire thing about him like not owning up to it, because as a captain, you own up to your mistakes and you apologize for shit and stuff like that. And like Vinny said, like when he was out of the lineup, they played a lot better. They won 2 in a row and all that shit. And then he came back in the lineup, they lost 6-0. Like how? Like what the fuck? Like
whack.
Like
Yeah.
it just says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jamie Benn screwed them because that was game 3 when Dallas outshot them 35-16. Like I was saying, they just had to kill a 5-minute power play because Jamie Benn, aka Jamie Gibbs, dude, out here, he's trying to take out people's giblets. Friggin' cross check on Stoner. That was brutal. Surprised he wasn't suspended more, but they probably thought the series was going to be over. And then they went and they played way better without him. I mean, DeBoer maybe should have benched him for game 6. I mean, imagine though, like benching your captain, like that's not a spot I would want to be in as a coach. But yeah, in game 6, they just laid an absolute dud. I mean, that was disappointing because they had all the momentum. Could have forced a game 7 there where anything can happen in game 7. But yeah, just on home ice and you lay an absolute dud like that. That was disappointing to see from Dallas.
You know what's wild too? So I saw a picture of Jamie Benn sitting on the bench. He doesn't even sit on the bench. He sits on a bar stool because he has really bad sciatica.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So like in that sense, it's just like, bro, like why are you even playing him if he has sciatica? Dude, sciatica is like the most like painful shit. Like I work with my brother Jack in landscape, and he has sciatica, dude. Like he goes through it, dude. I couldn't imagine like like skating and taking hits and like, you know what I mean, like playing like a whole 60
Yeah, your
minutes.
back like seizes up on you.
Yeah, it goes from your fucking lower back down to your foot.
Ugh,
Yeah, it's fucked up.
that's brutal.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't know how he plays through that.
I mean, like kudos to him. Like that's impressive. Like that's just like toughness at its full capacity. But at the same time, like you can't be that much of a scumbag on the ice. That's gonna cost your team, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was like kind of the turning point of the series too. After he did that, it's just like, all right, like clearly frustration got the best of him and he put his team in a bad spot. But I thought similar to Carolina, I thought Dallas played well. I thought they played well. Like they didn't outplay Vegas like Carolina outplayed Florida, in my opinion, but like it was even. It was dead even. And that series, I know ended up going 6, easily could have went 4. The Knights are just a great team, and it further proves our point that the Bruins made a horrible decision firing Bruce Cassidy. Just 1 year out after being fired, he's already in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, just makes the Bruins front office look awful. And props to the Knights too, because they're on like their 5th goalie this year, which like you would think would be a big issue for them. But Aiden Hill, dude, has been an absolute stud. I know you were talking about him, Bob, but
Yeah.
he's been as solid as you could be between the pipes. And the Knights just have so much depth. They're so tough to keep up with. They have, a couple superstars up front. Jack Eichel finally getting back to that form he used to be. And Mark Stone, if you want to even consider Mark Stone a superstar nowadays. But they just have a bunch of role guys that are just absolute workhorses. I mean, guys who have been in this position too: Chandler Stevenson, Jonathan Marchessault, Riley Smith,
William
William
Carrier.
William Carlson, Barbashev, dude. That was a sneaky good pickup from them at the deadline, getting a guy who's won a Stanley Cup before like that, and he's had some big time goals for them too. And then their back end, I think, is probably the best in the league. They just have a bunch of mooses back there, dude, that just clog up the middle. They don't really let up many high danger chances. And they just have like veterans on that blue line. Pietrangelo, Theodore, Alec Martinez, 2-time Cup winner, Nick Hague. I mean, that's a hell of a blue line.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, they're all big boys.
Yeah, they don't like. That's a thing. Like, I don't think anyone's clogged up the middle against the Florida Panthers, and I think they're gonna come up to their kryptonite maybe in the playoffs. I think the Stanley Cup, where you saw most of Matt Tkachuk's goals have come in the middle of the ice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he gets the puck right in front of the goalie, just slaps it in. You know what I mean? And I think the Knights might bring that Eastern Conference funk. And they're an Western Conference team, if you know what I'm saying. But I think they play hard-nosed defense, where it should be played in the Eastern Conference, but it's played in the Western Conference too. And I think it's going to be you're not sweeping a team in the Eastern Conference and going and sweeping a team in the West like that. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking betting wise, they're not.
I mean, no, I don't expect this to be a sweep at all.
No,
I think
it's gonna be 7. I think though, and they're hyping up the Panthers like they're, oh yeah, like they swept the fucking they swept the Canes, like this is crazy. It's like, I think the best team's in the West, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. Florida's won 11 of the last 12.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, no, like they swept the Canes. Cool, good for them. I think when it comes down to the Stanley Cup Finals, it's not gonna be who swept who. It's going to be like who put on the best series. And I like that Vegas played 6 games against the Stars, and they're not as fresh as the Panthers are. I think the team that's played the most games and who have played is going to matter the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's your classic rust versus rest debate.
Yeah, I like the rust.
Tale as old as time, but
I like the rust, or whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. I think the team that has played recently has the advantage.
Yeah, very well could be. I told you guys I was going to be a massive hater this episode, so here comes my hate for the Knights. I mean, I gave them the credit that they deserve. But the Vegas Golden Knights have a cap hit around $96 million. You know what the league salary is? The salary cap. It's 82.
Yeah,
it's $82 million. They're $13 million over the cap. So they should be, this team that they have. I mean, they had Mark Stone and Theodore on LTIR right before the playoffs and then activated them just in time. I know this isn't anything new. I know it's not against the rules technically. Teams have done this in the past. Tampa Bay Lightning. But I mean, it just almost feels like cheating. It feels like an unfair advantage when you have a team $13 million over the cap limit playing against Winnipeg, who has a $70 million cap, Edmonton 77, and Dallas 76. So you're playing against teams where your guys are getting paid $20 million more than the opponent. So, you should be winning. I just think, what's the point of having a salary cap if teams can just pull moves like this and be that much over the cap? I just think something has to change, because this is what happens every year. And basically, the team that's worth the most money goes and wins the Stanley Cup every year.
It's on Bettman, dude.
The Avalanche did it last year, and the Lightning did it the year before.
Yeah, it's every year. So that's my piece of hate for Vegas.
I mean, dude, the amount of times it's happened with teams that do that, It is on Bettman, dude. It's just like that kind of shit you can just regulate. Like, it's like at that time, at that type of like cap hits and all that stuff, and people doing that, teams doing that, organizations doing that is like the same thing like the NBA's doing, like making super teams and fucking
Right. Yeah,
all that.
it feels like a super team to me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because you're playing at an unlevel. It's it's not level playing field. When your team's worth 96 million, you're playing against a team that's worth 70 million. Like,
Yeah.
no shit, you're gonna win. Like, you have the higher paid players.
Yeah, because think about it, they have.
I know it doesn't happen all the time, but most of the time it does.
Because think about it, they have Eichel, Marchessault, Stone,
Petrangelo.
Yeah, Petrangelo. They had Pacioretty, but he's obviously
Yeah.
hurt. But like still like that. Imagine
Is
if they
he
had
the
him.
one that is that the one guy that
No,
they're
it's
probably like
Robin Leonard's getting $5 million a year too.
Oh,
he sucks.
Yeah, he's probably
horrible.
butt naked in a bunch of fucking snakes somewhere, laying down like a weirdo on fucking LSD.
He's sending those fucking DPs to that guy. That's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking air you out for like 30 million. He's like, yo, I'll send you DPs, air me out.
Jeez.
That'd be
Send-
wild if he did that.
Yeah. Yo, sell my DPs, please.
Yeah, I mean, regardless though, it's here we are. It's Panthers, it's Knights. I think the two most deserving teams. I mean, they've gotten the job done when push comes to shove. So why don't we dive into our Stanley Cup Finals preview here? Before we do though, we got to talk about the patch on the jerseys because it's terrible.
Gross.
It's awful. I don't know if I can look at it.
Yeah. Obviously, like ever since COVID, they like came out and said like, oh yeah, we need like to make more market value, ad revenue and all that stuff to make up money from the lost revenue and during COVID, which is fine. But everyone knew where this was going to lead, man. Like just bullshit on the helmet, bullshit on the jerseys, bullshit on the ice, bullshit on the boards.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Dude, there's gonna be bullshit on the face-off circles. We're gonna be like Europe and shit like that. Dude,
we are.
Dude, like at one point they're probably gonna like have all the fans walk in during admission, like, oh, put your hand out, and they're gonna stamp like fucking like Citizens Bank on your fucking hand.
They're gonna
like,
stamp they're gonna stamp. Oh yeah, how many games? They're gonna be like, oh 7. They're gonna be like Panthers at 7 and stamp on your hand.
Yeah, or like whatever. If Citizens Bank's like sponsoring like the TD Garden, they'd be like, there you go, stamp is a Citizens Bank. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, no, it's a dusty situation. I understand why they're doing it because they need the money, like, which is good for us. Like, I understand what they're doing, but at the same time, like, you got to make it look good. I think you keep the C and just keep it on the right shoulder, right? Is that where they put the?
No, the C's on your left shoulder.
Yeah. No, is it on the left shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't
But
worry.
don't put
Humble
anything...
brag. I wear a C. So
No, the C should be by itself. If you ask me,
Yeah, it has to be.
I think you like put the cup right next to the whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you put there as a advertisement. Like,
yeah, or even on the arm or something. I don't know. It's just
like I understand what they're doing. It's like you have to they're getting paid, but like, can we make it look good? NHL, like, we already have a marketing issue. Why the hell are you gonna make it even worse?
Having the Stanley Cup emblem next to the C is like criminal. Like, it looks insane. Like, it doesn't look
crazy.
natural at all, dude. It looks so dumb.
It's crazy.
Dude, if anything, they should put the C where it's at. Obviously, keep the C where it's at. You can't move the C. They should put the advertisement next to the C, because like the advertisements don't look that bad next to probably the C, I'm assuming, and just keep the Stanley Cup emblem on the right side. Because like, dude, the Stanley Cup emblem's like kind of like having the C. You know what I mean? Like, that should be like left alone on one side. It's probably more important than the C, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's dust. It's dust is what it is. It looks like shit.
I don't think it's more important, but I think they could have been way better and then put the Stanley Cup playoffs or whatever it is. Dude, like, that doesn't matter more than the C. The C is that guy might be hoisting the cup in like a week and a half. You know what I mean? Like, why are you gonna put something next to the C? Like, the C is the most important thing. in my opinion.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen the Stanley Cup playoffs logo on the ice all playoffs. So like, it's like, why is it a
I
big
know.
deal
That's
now?
another thing too. I actually thought about I didn't bring them to fruition, but I
It's
definitely
usually
thought
right after the blue line.
but it said they're putting fucking Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah,
or
it's
fucking
garbage.
your sister's ass on there.
Well, I get what they're doing, but it's not for the right thing. It's not for the right reason.
Oh
reason.
Jesus, Vinny's had a couple enough beers over there.
Couple.
Fucking burping up the happy dads.
Yeah, no, it's not for the right reason. They're going for the money, but it's not for the right reason.
Yeah, just more shit to piss us off. But I think regardless, I think we're in for a good Stanley Cup Finals. What people can have their opinions on it. I get it. Like some people are upset. It's not. These aren't original 6 teams. You got Vegas, who is a expansion team in the last 6 years. Been to their is this their second or third Cup Finals they've been to? Second, yeah. And then
Vegas.
Florida.
Vegas, no. Oh yeah, Vegas second. Yeah.
And then Florida's a team with not much, history to them. But, someone's going to win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. So I think that's going to be pretty special. And I just think these guys are going to be a little bit extra hungry during this series. So I think we're in for a good one. Before we start to give our predictions here, we'll recap last round for the conference finals. Snipsky led the way 2-0. Bob split 1-1. Myself 0-2. Our current Evander Kane standings. So with a point per series predictions correct, which Snipsky had, who was it? Knights in 6. So technically Snipsky was 3-0. Bob and I didn't have any, so our records stay the same. So the standings now is actually Snipsky's leapfrogged me by 1 game to go into first place. He's 77, 62-1 with the series predictions point per. I'm 76, 62-1, and Bob, it's safe to say that you're going to be getting the Goldberg treatment at 67, 65-1. I think it's official now.
Fuck.
All right, Bob. Thanks for playing.
So, honestly, Bob, I think you are probably best suited for this. I mean, you get to show off those washboard abs you've been working on, so you can handle it a little better than us.
No, honestly, dude, honestly, the way you said that, whatever. If the internet has to see my body, it's all good.
Hey, everybody listening, we're actually gonna follow through with this one because we owe you guys one.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty promises on this podcast. I'm not gonna say who had the empty promises, but
nah, he doesn't exist.
So that's our updated standings heading into the Stanley Cup Finals. So I'm gonna need a miracle. It looks like. Why don't we get into it? And I'll be honest with you right now. You guys can go first because I'm just picking the opposite of Snipsy because I have to have any chance I win. I have to pick the opposite of Snipsy to have any chance of winning.
You go first, all right?
I'll go first because I'm the Goldberg guy here.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even matter who I pick. I can pick the fucking Bishop Sycamore. It doesn't even matter. I'm gonna go Vegas in 6 because so my breakdown is, which doesn't fucking matter. Bruce Cassidy and Paul Maurice.
Bruce Cassidy, let's go.
Bruce Cassidy and Paul Maurice, neck and neck for coaching. But I think I know Paul Maurice is probably one of the most winningest. Was it top 5 winningest coach?
Yeah, he's top 5. Yeah,
top 5. But dude, Bruce Cassidy recency bias has been killing it, and I think he's gonna have this team ready to go. And he's due for one. He's due for a cup. Paul Maurice already won his, and the thing is the one thing that I know that's going to be a complete lopsided thing is going to be the goaltending because Bobrovsky is probably better than Adin Hill in my opinion when it comes because I think Bobrovsky, win or lose, is probably going to win that MVP. He's going to win the Conn Smythe, but other than that, Knights decor is way better than the fucking Panthers.
Yep,
and I think the forward core for Vegas is definitely has an edge on Florida because Florida, I get it. Sam Bennett kills people, blah, blah, blah. Kachuk's clutch for Hagee, Reinhart. But at the same time, you got Jack Eichel, you got Stoner, you got Riley Smith, you got fucking William Karlsson, you got Chandler Stevenson. If anything, it matches them or even better. So that's my breakdown. Vegas in 6.
So like you say, recency bias for the Vegas Knights. I think it's the opposite. I think recency bias to the Panthers because they haven't been playing as well.
I'm talking about the coaching.
No, yeah, all right.
Recency bias because Bruce Cassidy's been to the Stanley Cup final recently.
I'm trying to like build on what you were saying, Bob. Do not go against me. So I'm saying recency bias, yes, for the Panthers. Panthers have a good coach, a good core, but have they even been here? I think there's been a lot of guys on Vegas that have been here and are hungry for it. I love Mark Stone. The adding of Jack Eichel means a lot. I think the way he's been playing this whole playoffs, even though I thought that Vegas lost that trade, I will backpedal, and they definitely won that trade with the whole Peyton Krebs, a couple prospects for Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel has played out of his fucking tits this postseason, and it's absolutely proved me wrong. Vegas, I think Vegas is the stronger, more in-depth team. Vegas is the flavor of the month, and I think Vegas is gonna win this. They're due. They have guys that have been there before. I think it's real close if you ask me, though. I really think Florida is a hell of a team. Don't get me wrong. I think they are gonna run into a brick wall with this defense. They are so deep. I am not sorry.
I could make a case for either team here. I probably like Vegas a little better, and probably would want Vegas to win just for Bruce Cassidy's sake. But I mean, looking at the Panthers, dude, won 11 of their last 12, dude. That's an absolute heater, hottest team in the game right now. Bobrovsky's been the best goalie in the game, absolute brick wall. 8 seed, team of destiny here for Florida. I mean, Panthers have arguably beaten the 3 best teams in the NHL. Boston Bruins, which were the best team in the NHL, right. Toronto Maple Leafs, and Carolina Hurricanes. I think they've had a little bit of a tougher path, and they've, besides the Boston series, they made fucking light work of Toronto and Carolina. So I think Florida can beat anybody. But like I said, for the standing sake, I need this one if I want to have any chance at winning. So I got to go against Snipsky. I got to take the Peas. I'm going to take the Peas in 7. Peas in 7. Although, dude, Vegas might have some extra motivation with this one. Did you see the deal that the strip club in Vegas offered the team? Free lap dances for life if they win. Free lap dances.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's got to be a little extra motivation for you.
Honestly, if I was the captain of that locker room, if I was Stoner, I'd be like, dude, boys, do it for the strippers. Do it for the girls. You know what I mean? Like do it for the girls.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Literally, that's all you need.
That's all you need. Boys, let's do it for the girls for life. Girls for life. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like
for life.
So they say like 20 miles, 20 smiles.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta say that kind of shit. You're like, all right, like 20 broads, like 20 whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta come up with something clever. Have the boys going.
This my other thing.
No, I got one. 20 broads, 20 rods.
They're getting those. But my thing is with the whole Panthers thing, I feel like everyone's hyping up the Panthers, like the media especially. And no one's talking about how good what
is it, Vinny?
No,
Jesus.
Okay. That the Golden Knights. No, so the Golden Knights, people aren't talking about how good the Golden Knights are.
I don't think anyone's downplaying the Knights. The Knights were the top team in the West this year.
Yeah, but it's the flavor of it's the flavor of the month, bro. I'm telling you, people are like recency bias. I don't even know what that means.
I think the Panthers, the Panthers are getting so much love because the Panthers shouldn't have even made the playoffs. The last game of the regular season, Pittsburgh Penguins had to beat the Chicago Blackhawks as minus 500 favorites. Pittsburgh
Yeah,
Penguins
I
were
agree.
minus 500,
I
and they
know, yeah.
lost to the shitbag Blackhawks, who were trying to tank, and they still won. So, and that's the
No,
only
they
reason why
lost.
Florida got in. No, I'm saying the Blackhawks
they
were trying to
lost.
tank, and they still won.
No, they lost. That was the thing.
That's what I just said. That Jesus Christ. I said the Blackhawks were trying to tank for Bedard, and they still won.
I thought you were talking
Pittsburgh
about the
lost.
Penguins. Oh, my bad.
No,
my
Pittsburgh
bad.
lost, so Florida got in ahead of them. That's the only reason why Florida got in, and now they're in the
Yeah, they
Stanley
were
Cup
trying to
Finals. I think
tank,
that's
but-
pretty special. That's why
Yeah.
everyone's talking about it.
Did you guys hear about like Keith Kachuk like calling out that Florida Panthers team around like February, March too?
Yeah, and then they went off.
Yeah.
And then they went nuts. He was like, "Yeah, they're soft, this, that, and the other thing." I'm like, okay, like this is kind of like a Hail Mary for them for Keith Kachuk to say this.
It's a
And
rally
then
cry. It
They
worked.
went nuts. They went crazy, which is nuts.
So you're saying that Keith Kachuk should have a ring if they win?
I would.
Probably, yeah. Give him one. Give
I'm just
Brady
saying,
one
like,
too.
It's funny.
Yeah, that'd be nasty.
It's funny for that to happen where he was like calling him out in February and that just happened.
I gotta call out Brady Kachuk real quick though, because he said before the playoffs, he said they asked him, "Are you gonna be attending your brother's games like he was last year?" And he said no, and he's been at every game. So
Really?
what the
Well,
hell?
hey,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to take.
he was
tabs
crushing
on
beers.
Yeah,
Did
dude, he's the captain of the Senators, and he's just out there just fucking partying and shit. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would if my brother was in the Cup Finals.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be there.
I
I'd be
wouldn't-
along
I
for the
wouldn't be
ride.
So I wouldn't be so like out in public about it though either. If you know your team's good enough.
They should just join up, play on the same team. That'd be sick.
Yeah, they should do
Having to
that.
deal with two Kachuk brothers would be brutal for the
if my
opposing
brother-
team.
I know they're on the same line too.
my
Like
brother-
Brady's the center, Maddie's the fucking winger. That'd be terrible.
If Bob won the cup, I'd be low key. And he should be too. You know what I mean? Like he needs to win that too.
Oh, I won a cup for you. I won something.
All right,
I
so
won
I'm
the Heroes-
going.
I won the Heroes Cup for you.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going P's in 7. Bob, what'd you say? Vegas in 6?
Yeah, Vegas in 6.
And Snipsky, what do you got? Vegas
I said Vegas in 7.
7? All right, let's go.
Yeah, I said that on the text chain.
Conn Smythe predictions. I seen
Okay, I
people
like it.
saying that if Florida wins, it's got to go to Matt Kachuk. There's absolutely no shot. It goes to
No,
Sergei
no.
Bobrovsky, and that's a
It
fact.
depends how he plays. Like if that kid gets a goal in OT or something, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
in like
He,
Game 7 OT
Yeah,
winner.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
to give it to him, but
say if
Bobrovsky's
it's
the
like-
only reason they're still here.
So if Matt Kachuk gets a goal in Game 3, and it's like the OT winner or something, and then they end up winning whatever, you know what I mean? And they end up winning like without him, like type of thing. I could see it maybe.
Yeah.
It
I mean, if he
because-
scores a couple more OT winners, you might have to. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
if
I
he
just think Bobrovsky, like, dude,
Yeah, if Bobrovsky
he's got like a
has,
950 save percentage.
It's gonna
It's
be
nuts.
I think Bobrovsky might win it if they lose.
And I feel like they always favor the goalies. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he reminds me of John Sebastian Jaguar when the Ducks lost in 7 to the Devils, and they still gave it to Jiggy.
I was rooting for the Ducks big
Oh,
time
yeah.
too.
Korea.
I love the Ducks that
Yeah,
year.
Korea was the man.
Yeah, but yeah, Jiggy still won the Conn Smythe, and they lost the Cup final.
Well,
So I think the
what-
same thing could happen to Bobrovsky, honestly. He's playing that
Yeah.
good.
Well, wasn't Jamie Langenberner on that team too?
On the Devils?
Ducks.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, he was on the Devils.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
right? That
Yeah,
year.
Langenbrunner,
yeah,
Eliash. They were
Well,
sick.
I think the Knights are so deep. It like kind of like they got Michael Amadio.
Amadio was
Look-
nasty.
Yeah, like they have these guys that are just like built in. That like it's tough.
Kolasar is a good player too.
I'd say Eichel probably for Vegas. Or Carlson, dude. William Carlson's been
You know
big
who's
time.
Marchessault
fucking-
kind of went
You
nuts,
know
too.
who's fucking nasty that no one's gonna even talk about is Chandler Stevenson.
I've been talking about him this whole entire podcast.
No, but like for this, no, you didn't talk about him this whole like.
I
during
brought him
this.
up like twice.
Chandler Stevenson is a monster. He's a second to third liner. Watch out for his ass. He's nasty. I also love Anthony Duclair. He is dirty. Watch out for him.
The
And
Duke.
yeah, he won me some money. Also, like it's that team on Vegas. It's like you don't know who's gonna go nuts because they're so good. They have so many guys. What's his name? Hag's good
Nick
too.
Hague.
You know, yeah, Nick Hag's good. They're just kind of like when I like look down the roster, I think Vegas has a better roster when it comes down to it. And they got the hard ass Mr. Bruce Cassidy. And I'm on the Bruce Cassidy train. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is.
Believe in
And
Bruce.
I think he deals with a bunch of mature guys that are not on the Bruins.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is a good fit in Vegas, dude. It's Cup
Very
Finals,
good fit.
good for him because he got treated like shit in Boston.
Facts.
All right, but there you have it. Stanley Cup Finals preview. We'll have to wait and see. Go Peas. Boys, I got to run, actually. So if you guys want to close it out for us, I'll leave my camera on until my video uploads. But I got to pee, so I'll see you guys later.
Coco, see you, man.
All right, peace.
All right, so my fun fact. I actually saw this this morning. So apparently, Matt Tkachuk and Mark Stone are Brady Tkachuk's groomsmen for his wedding this summer, and they're playing each other in the Stanley Cup Final. Isn't that fucking wild?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, damn. Like, honestly, the amount of respect that you have between like one another competitor wise, especially in the Stanley Cup Final. Imagine like playing each other and then like having to like be at a wedding like next to each other, standing at the altar. That's fucking kind of nuts.
Respect.
Yeah, it's all respect. So it's just like
It just shows how hard it is, though, like to get there. You know,
it's like, and plus it's kind of crazy that like that shows how like tight knit the hockey community is. No matter like if you're on the different sides of the puck, like it just everyone's just like so cool with each other, man. It's awesome. It's a great sport to be part of.
They fight each other and then they go on the ice or they're on the same team next year and they're just like, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Just it doesn't matter in hockey. Like those guys will like handshake each other and just be like, hey, like man, like
Good
we
tilt.
beat each other's asses, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a good tilt between two guys. I mean, sometimes it's 20 guys against each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my fun fact of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the Stanley Cup Final and all that. And thanks for listening again and tuning into the High Slot.
Hell yeah.